Hi everybody, I hope you're well, and if it's maybe the third time that you've been with us today, great to have you back with us. It's our third show of a brand new launch from Carnation Crafts. I'm Dave Bradford and it's our last live hour of the day, so if you want to get involved and say hello to us on Facebook, we'd love that. If you want to send us a message, we'd love that as well. Now, obviously, this is our very own TV channel, Carnation Crafts TV. It's been going now for a little while. This is our third exclusive launch. In other words, you won't get this anywhere else at the moment, only here through either YouTube or Facebook, through our website carnationcrafts.co.uk. and what a launch this has been. Well over half of the entire stock has gone in basically less than 24 hours, so it is a wonderful success already. It's called Wild Wonders, and this is what you're going to get. Now you might be looking at this as I did. When I came in this morning, first thing I looked at that and thought, interesting, what does that do? Basically, if I show you a card like this quickly, basically what they give you are the little slits that you can put, of course, foliage into or little flowers into to make your own wreaths. You can make square wreaths, rectangular wreaths, large or small. What about that? Isn't that just absolutely a game changer? That's what Carnation Crafts do. They don't just stick to one thing. They give you lots of innovation, lots of new ideas. But the Wild Wonders basically is surrounding some gorgeous little characters. If you have a little look down at the bottom, we've got these characters that have been given names by the guys at Carnation, Nick and Mark and everybody else. We've got Pip, we've got Dandelion and Burdock, the two little mice down there as well. We've also got, of course, our really cute Carnation mice, the grey ones, which you're perhaps used to seeing from previous collections as well. But one of them's knocking it back, the other one's just about to take a little sip. So that one's called, what was that one called again? There's Always One. Isn't that the case? There's always one. You've got your keys. Now, these could be car keys. They could be house keys. It could be someone moving out of home, setting up home, getting married, moving in together, all those sort of things. A little remote control as well for a car. And then at the top here, you've got your foliage. You've got also, of course, your near and far, which are great scene setters with gates and trees and stuff like that. And then at the end, you've then got your scrappy bow as well. The whole thing should be nearly £150, £149.92. The show price today is £119.99 with free P&P. If you're in the UK and you spend over £100, you don't pay any postage whatsoever. But there's one crucial extra benefit. If you put that in the promo code box when you check out, WWYD10, do you know what will happen? That price will go down by another 10%. So just over £107, £107.99 to get this collection home today, delivered, remember, saving you just over £40, £41.93 you save. And just in case you're interested in some of the individual elements, if you want the laminar, which is the base that basically creates the rosettes, that's available separately. You can see all the item numbers there. But I think most of you are going for the complete collection because that's going to give you the best deal as well. One more thing to show you before we introduce Carla in a second is over the other side of the studio there, we've also got the oversized frames for you as well. Now, I know lots of you have been buying these along with the collection. Some of you maybe wanted this just on its own. That's absolutely fine. We'll show you the oversized frame. There it is, $34.99, and it is a stunning die set. It really, really is. Imagine the potential of what you could do with that. And all those elements you see are individual dies. So it's not just for big cards. You can make them a lot smaller if you want to as well. And we've also got, of course, our fantastic perfect papers in the show to go with the collection too. More on that in just a second. Carla's here. She's been with us. We've all been with each other actually all day. Had a blast. I just tripped over downstairs, so I almost joined your club.
Mm-hmm. You're a bit sore, Dave, are you not? A little bit sore on the bottom. Mr. Dave went for a Burton.
Watch where you're going when you're on your phone. That's what I've learnt today.
Don't trip over boxes in my kitchen. No. I was in the bathroom at the time and heard an almighty crash. I thought my house had fallen down. And then I came out and Dave
just your
was
presenter
shuffling with a little limp because he's hurt his bottom.
It's a fantastic collection though, isn't it? Everyone's loved it.
Absolutely stunning. I mean, Carnation are really good at changing things up, but they're also good at going back to those kind of classics, you know, the ones that we know and love. And it's that comfortable building that they do. So you've got these beautiful elements that are... are you making me pull it up?
You're adjusting yourself.
She's... I didn't pop. I was just moving my microphone. Just so you all know. see, it's always a thrill being here. I'm just saying.
Oh, can I just say something? Sorry,
dear.
I know you were in the middle of something then.
I
weren't you?
can't remember what, so
Okay,
you carry
I'll
on.
move on. Nominations. You know the craft awards that happen every year. Thank you very, very much if you've already nominated us. Absolutely brilliant if you have. We've had lots of messages to say people have been nominating. What we'd like you to do, if you like us at Carnation Crafts, which hopefully if you're watching you do, could you nominate us? That would be fantastic. We need to be nominated before you can vote. So best brand for crafts, Carnation. Best rated customer service, Carnation. Favourite die cutting range,
Carnation.
designer of the year, Nick Chase.
Carnation. Oh,
Carnation.
sorry.
And also, if you fancied saying that you like Hannah, Carla, Dawn and myself, then that would be very nice too. Now, it's www.crafts-beautiful.com/awards. That's where you can nominate your favourite crafting presenters, ranges, all that sort of thing, designers. So we'd love it if you could do that, and I know many of you have done that. It's free to do it, and then when the nominations open, if you'd like to vote for us, we'd be even happier. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Oh, we'd be chuffed to bits.
Yeah.
Chuffed to bits.
Chuffed to bits. Right, now let's have a little look at the boards. Now I mentioned that oversized frame, that oversized square. That's the one you're going to start with, isn't it?
Yeah, so we'll have a look at this one first because obviously it's separate to the main bundle, so I just want to show you it in all its glory because it is really stunning. They always do a lovely card shape anyway. You know this. If you've been following Carnation for any length of time, you already know that they do these great card bases. And this is just absolutely stunning. So it's 19.5 centimetres by 19.5 centimetres. I believe the second one here is 12 centimetres, somewhere around there. And then you've got the very wee dink here, which I would hazard a guess is about 7 centimetres. So you've got the three. So you've actually got essentially, if you want them, 3 card shapes all in one. But certainly if you were using that, you could use that for tags as well. Really pretty. You've got your card base, your mat, your layer, your filigree, and then we start again on each of those layers. So you've got this enormous set of card bases, which is brilliant, isn't it? Because it's all in one. However, what we can do also is to use these panels and these panels to create apertures. So we can do these really gorgeous layered apertures. Tracy Moore, hi guys, sat by the pool with a G&T in sunny Portugal.
What's going on? Everyone's either in the Canary Islands or in Portugal. Michelle was having a good time, wasn't she? In Tenerife earlier.
She was.
Yeah. Now Tracy's in Portugal with a G&T. That's what is on the menu for us at the end of the show, I think.
I think I deserve it after being with you two all day.
Now, yeah, absolutely. The sun is shining here in the UK. If you're watching us abroad, whether you're in America or wherever you may be, in the Canary Islands, Portugal or whatever, lots of you watching on your phones by a pool somewhere. So we're not jealous at all. But yeah, thank you for all your lovely comments and thank you for all your support with this range. But that one is the oversized square frame, if you fancy that. Potential with that is massive, isn't it?
Huge, there's loads of scope for it. Easel cards, all of the rest of it. Those layered apertures, again, really important, those layered aperture cards. And then also you've got your standard bases. So everything is there for you. But this filigree is so pretty. When you start to look at the detailing, just here, look, if we just look in this corner, just that. You know, it's such a small section of the die, but that is already such glorious detail, and then to bring it forward into this beautiful kind of flurry of filigree is so pretty.
When stunning is only what you want, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful card on its own. Just whack a sentiment on there and you've got something absolutely divine already.
Oh, Umberta's voting for us. We'll nominate immediately, she says.
We love Humberta.
Oh, Umberta, that's your native country, Portugal. Oh, I didn't know that.
No, yeah. I didn't know that either, Humberta. Well, here we've got your shabby bow corner, I think it's called. Scrappy bow corner. I was so close.
Yeah, scrappy, shabby.
It's shabby chic, isn't
Same
it?
thing.
Just got in from work and I'm watching you in the bath.
Oh.
That's what Dave will be doing. He won't be watching you when. I'm just so you know. You'll be, it's all right. So we've got this scrappy bow corner and I love this so much. It's got a real little soft spot for this. Do you know this would look really beautiful on gifts?
Yeah.
You know, if you tied a gift up with in brown paper with some string and you just put that on the top, I just think it would look so pretty.
And with double-sided vignettes, which I haven't mentioned yet, you can download and print off now, which lots of you have done. You've then got a left and a right, so you can make a square frame.
Yeah, absolutely. So you could put them all the way around and we'll have a look at that in a second. But they're so pretty and you've got this kind of textured, because the die cuts in a certain way, it's almost, it's got a feel to it. I can't explain it. You'll know when you start to cut it out. Gorgeous button detail here, so we can build this up with those decoupage layers and really make something of it. Shape out all of the elements on the side and build it up. You've got something absolutely divine. We move from that onto the onto these two little chaps who are having the best time. There is always one. It's always you, Dave. Always you.
Now, am I on the left or am I on the right?
I don't know my left from the right, but this would be you because you're, like we said, you're a bit more refined, or you pretend to be. I mean, you kind of lost points when you fell over in the kitchen, but before
and
that...
when I slept-walked in the hotel.
And then you slept-walked in the hotel.
Do
you know what? Actually, this is me. This is you. I am. The bets are off. But this one's more got my tummy. So, like, I also... Mind you, this one's quite portly too. So, either way, Dave, I think it's not a good representation of either of us. But I just think they're so sweet.
I mean, they're standalone on their own. But if you've got any of the other mice from the other collections we've done...
And if you start thinking of things like... if any of you have got crafty little things and you've got the work mice that have got, like, the little hard helmets and stuff running around to create those stories, running around these guys who are just having the best time in the centre of it, you could really make some glorious little scenes from those. And we move on to these. These are a funny one, aren't they? So we get asked all the time for masculine elements for cards, and also, bizarrely, you guys have asked for keys before for when people have passed driving tests, when people have moved home.
But when you think about it, a key set isn't that bizarre because we all use them and they're significant if you've got a new home, got a new motor car, passed your driving test.
Absolutely. And that first stage you get into with a relationship, when you swap keys with your new partner, etc., etc., those kind of celebratory events that you have. So they're a really nice thing to have, and you'll use them again and again. This is one that, you know, in your craft stash, you're going to file it somewhere and you're going to say, right, okay, that's going to be sort of, I might need to use that every month because there's always something going on with new homes, that sort of thing. So it's going to be one of your more used. So for me personally, with things like this, I tend to cut a batch of them and I'll put them in a little bag and I'll have them set for new home cards. So a little place where I place elements for new homes. I'll have elements for new baby cards and all those, so I can just grab.
Now these dies have got the name, I just had them. How many times have you lost your keys? I had them a minute ago. That's what it's called. I just had them. Genius. Then we go on to, and now the other mice that are in the show are just adorable. These are the field mice, aren't they?
Yeah, I think these have stolen the show today. Look at his little face. Mm-hmm. He does look like Marv.
Yeah.
Marv's my field mouse who comes and eats from my bird feeder, and he does look so much like Marv, but they're so beautiful. They've got that gorgeous expression, that fairy tale story time, really beautiful. It reminds me of childhood books.
Yes.
And the first time I saw this, I don't know what it is, and I don't know which book it is, but there's a book that I got at the library when I was a kid, and as soon as I saw this I was like, oh, and it just took me straight back to being little. So I love that about them. But they look gorgeous on the cards. They're so sweet, and they're a really nice shape to play with as well.
Then we go to
Pip.
Or Brenda, as
Brenda.
you've called her. Yeah.
Brenda's very busy. She's very beautiful. We shaped her out earlier on, so you saw how we get the dimension in the eye, how we get the dimension in the wings, the tail feathers, all of those sorts of elements that we need to give that 3D shape that allows us to create dynamism on our cards.
And she's the most gorgeous wren, we've decided.
Isn't she beautiful?
Yeah, really lovely.
She is really pretty. He's very clever, isn't he, with his animals, Mr. Nick? We'll give him that. We'll give him that. Look at the little bonbon. Do you want to know what my rabbits were called?
Go on.
They are no longer with me. Thumper would be a good name for rabbits.
Yep.
No, they were both girls, and one was called Linda and one was called Johnson.
Linda Johnson.
Johnson and Linda.
Is Linda Johnson an actress?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh. I didn't know if you named them after a person, was it?
No.
No, just, where do you get Johnson from?
My son.
Oh,
I said, what do you want to call the rabbit? Thinking he would come up with Thumper, and he said Johnson. I said, okay, let's do that, kid.
Fair enough.
So we had Linda and Johnson, and there you go. And she looks a little bit like Johnson. But she's so pretty. I love how Nick does the eyes.
Yeah.
I love all the blush that comes in on the cheek. Those lovely ears that we get here that can be shaped so beautifully. And then this body, that lovely shoulder span that rabbits have, don't they, when they sit forward on their haunches. And the gorgeous little paws. We love them. And all of these cut lines that you see that create that texture of fur almost, They are all there on purpose. It breaks the fibre of the paper. When you use a ball tool, it will really help that paper break down so that you can create beautiful bow lines on it.
Now, next you've got your elements. Now, this is what they call near and far, so you've got lots of things to help build your scenes here.
Yeah, I love this set. This is going to be one of my most used sets in the future, I think. Especially, weirdly, this one. Dirt piles are really important. Ground and devices are really important because they give purpose to placement. So if you've got the bunny, for instance, if the bunny's just floating in midair, yes, you can make something of it, almost like a cameo, if you like, but you need to make sense of the bunny floating, otherwise it's just a little odd. So what we do is use a ground and device such as this, and that allows us to have somewhere for that bunny to sit. Then you've got your foliage, you've got your gate, so you can make as many of those as you want, put them next to each other, so you can have a really long gate, little tree, and let's all guess what you think this is. You tell us what you would use this for. I think it's a telephone pole. We've had hammocks.
I thought it might be a hammock. Yeah, it could be bunting if you put little triangles on it.
You said a gazebo.
Could be.
Roof,
like a
if you
taverna
like.
or something like that on a beach.
Yeah. So there's all of these different things that you could use it for. And actually the joy of us all having different opinions about what we specifically perceive that to be is that it can be any and all of those things. So that's how useful that is going to be, because you're going to be able to use it again and again in loads of different ways. Yeah, Joanna's saying here, washing line. It's all of those elements. So, you know, to have things cut out and sort of placed on here, just super sweet, right? Really, really lovely. And I know there's been the USB that had the collection, bundles of joy, and it's got a little peg, and if you've got the USB you can make it tiny, and you could use that to hang washing out.
Now this is one of the I think this is one of the highlights of the entire collection, to be honest, and it wasn't obvious when I first saw it this morning exactly what it can do, but when you explained it to me and showed me what it could do, I love it.
Little stroke of genius, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got the circular one in the middle here, which is the smaller one, and then you've got the large semicircle, and then you've got the large half square. You can see the little sort of element here that tucks into the first slot, and same again at that side. So you can create a card that is that shape, or we can cut two of the semicircle and create a circle. Two of the square create a square, and we can use them to weave in leaves and florals into every single slot to make different shaped wreaths. They are incredible and they look so super sweet. This obviously isn't finished, but that was me showing earlier how to weave those in, and then sort of looking at once that becomes, this is obviously the little circle and that's just the semicircle.
And I've got one here. If you have a look at this, this has been one of my favourites of the day actually. Not actually using the vignettes as such, but just using some gold mirror card and the open foliage. Look at that, isn't that amazing? And that's using, of course, the big oversized square as the background, but then using the laminar card base to create that semicircular. Well, it's actually using the square one, to be honest, rather than the semicircular one, but really, really effective, even on the bottom as well. So lots you can do with these dice.
Yeah, I mean, it really is one heck of a set. It's actually a really large set of dies as well, which I always like. Because it gives you so much playway when you get them home. I do love this ribbon. It obviously fits in with that shabby bow corner. It's got the same sort of textured element to it. You've got your light work and your leaves, so these fit exactly on top of there. If you cut those into, say, a gold colour and put them on, they look so pretty. They look so gorgeous. But there are vignettes for it, so there is artwork for the light work if you so choose to use it. That's entirely your call. The final board that we've got here,
Wildflower Array,
which is upside down.
Upside down.
I think they were all upside down, but I just ignored it until this point when it was important to have it the right way round. So we'll just carry on. We'll carry on. Gosh, I'm professional. We've got these beautiful florals. So these are your wildflowers, and they're so pretty. I don't know what these are, but I've got loads of them in my garden, and they're so lovely. They're so pretty.
Bluebells? No?
I'm not. If it is, it's not what I'm thinking it is.
Oh, okay.
They're sort of more. They're more kind of scraggly than a bluebell. The one I've got in my garden. Okay. They're sort of more wild.
Message us if you know.
If you know what this is, this particular one. I think everyone will say bluebell now, but I don't think it is a bluebell.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I'll stand to be corrected.
But it's beautiful. And you've got all of these florals, and again, they tuck into those weaves that you've got for the wreaths. But again, we can use that when we come to the vignettes you've had in previous times for different wreath makers. We can use them all together. We can top and change.
Linda McColville. Hello, Linda. She says, what's the top lacy leafy layer on the white and gold card just shown? Okay, I think you mean...
So let me just take you
This.
back a step.
Does she mean this, do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
think so.
included.
So if we can go back to the overhead, Taz, if I can just turn this board round. Are you on it, babes? Thank you very much. So it's these cut, and they've been cut, I believe, in gold mirror card. So what we do is we ignore the vignettes. You just cut them in that gold card, and then you just cut these out of white card, and you place them directly on top of these and glue them, and they're an exact replica. So you get the skeleton work on top of the leaves. I think that's what you mean.
Yeah.
The alternative is just the lacy background that you could be talking about, which is separate, which is this frame that's on today, which is the oversized square frame.
So if you
But
buy
I
that
think you mean those.
and the collection, you can make this card, which is absolutely stunning, isn't it? A showstopper. Really, really is. Thanks for the question, though. And that is basically what you're getting in the main collection today, apart from the oversized square, which is obviously a separate item. Joanne says, excited to get this die set. Hi, Joanne. Joanna Enyan, or Ainan, sorry. Also, Sue Phillips is saying hello. Good evening, Carla and Dave. Also, Jane Green says, hi, Carla and Dave. Placed my order this morning, printed all my vignettes, now waiting for my happy post. Now, what are vignettes? They are the artwork. Basically, all the artwork you see on the packaging, you've got access to that right now on the Carnation Crafts website, which is carnationcrafts.co.uk. If you go there, you'll be able to see, basically it says downloads. Click on that and then go to the vignette downloads, and it comes up with options for the different collections. So what you want, of course, is Wild Wonders. Click on that, and there, by magic, are all the artwork vignettes for you. You've got single vignettes, you've got double vignettes, so you've got the front and back or left and right. You choose which you want to print off. There are also inserts and background papers there as well in colours that will coordinate beautifully with the artwork. So that's there for you to print off right now, free, instant, and of course we'll rush your dies to you as quickly as possible. Often you get them within a couple of days, because as soon as your order is placed, the guys at Carnation pick and pack it and dispatch it straight away. One quick thing, if you're in the USA, and I know this time of an evening in the UK we get lots of USA viewers, if you would like to buy this today, your P&P is $4.95. If you want to add maybe the perfect papers that are here in with your order as well, all those colourways complement the artwork brilliantly. We'll just add another £10 to your shipping and handling. So that's $14.95, and we'll get that all delivered to wherever you may be in the USA. 220524, just $14.99 for 48 sheets of 300 GSM. Beautiful, perfect paper. We say perfect papers, but it's cardstock.
It's cardstock, It's just alliteration.
Do you want to see some finished samples?
Yeah, while you're looking for that, can we just say that Jenny West, hello Jenny, has said, hello Carla, Dave and Miss Tiz Taz.
Hey!
Is it your friend? You've got one.
Hi, Jenny. A bit harsh. Can I just show you this one? Barbara Treadwell's done this.
It's like Jenny likes me.
We all love you, Miss Taz.
Look, this is the laminar that we talked about. So this is the half circle, and then she's literally stuck two of the half squares together to form like a little trestle at the back. So you can do archways. Isn't that gorgeous?
I love how that's been cut in the green as well. I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's easy when we see it just sort of sit in to copy what we see, so to just cut it in white. But honestly, you know, cut the actual wreath in your mirror cards as well in gold. It's just so pretty. If you're doing something like this, to be able to put where you've got the gap here, to be able to put vellum at the back of that, so you've got this beautiful sheen behind it. Really pretty.
Now Pam's done this one, taking the foliage from the laminar that we showed you to do the wreaths. She's used the foliage in different ways. That is really lovely. To me that looks like a cactus, a couple of cactuses.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely stunning, that card. I love the texture on the leaves going up.
What about a domed card? This one's been done by Lavinia.
Lavinia is very good at these cards.
Stunning, isn't it?
Do you know they remind me of Easter eggs?
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
What, the
Where you
colours?
would have the dome with the circle. Where
Oh,
you
I
would
see what you
an
mean.
Easter egg
Yes,
in
yes,
the
yes,
middle of
yes.
it.
Yeah,
Do you see what
yeah,
I'm
I know what you
saying?
mean. I get it. Now the next one hasn't got any characters on it at all, but this is what we were saying about the keys and the remote control. That could be well done on passing your driving test card, couldn't it?
Yeah, really, really beautiful.
Oh, hang on. I've got 2 more I want to show you before I let you demo. Look at that. Isn't that just
cute as a button?
beautiful?
I love the way she's used the florals to create a love heart by manipulating the way they shape, and that's the thing, isn't it? Just
And this one
manipulate.
really tells a story. It is so much fun. This is
That's
Barbara's done this.
My star, I think, for this collection. I absolutely love, love, love that card. What a way to use
A
those
little mouse
vignettes.
told me.
Isn't that incredible?
And if you have got other Carnation Craft collections,
There's a tightrope.
imagine how this is going to work with those, because you know the grey mice, the Carnation Craft mice, have been used in quite a few collections previously, so you can bring it all in. There's always elements from previous collections that you own that you can use with this and vice versa, so it's not just a standalone collection that you can only use together. You can mix and match it.
Tightrope.
Tightrope.
We didn't think of using it as a tightrope.
I see what you mean, yes.
You
Yeah,
see?
and she snipped away the wine glass or the goblet, so it's almost like he's made it to the other side. Done it.
He's totally tightroping. There you
Look at
go.
that.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Tightrope.
didn't think of tightrope.
How clever is that?
Yeah,
That
brilliant.
is so cute. You could actually have put the mouse slightly higher. It would look like he was bouncing on a trampoline
True.
from the front.
Cool. Okay, Carla, over to you.
Are we doing the demo thing?
Yes.
We like it when we get to craft. So, the large oversized frame, we've got, as always, the outside die, the largest die, and I've cut it twice. You know the game, but for those of you who are new to Carnation, this is the easiest and quickest way I have found to make a card base of my own. Score at 1/2 inch, fold it back on itself. It's got some sticky on there. Fold it back towards your body, and then take the other piece of cardstock and place it in front so that they don't stick together. It means I can move and shift until I've got them absolutely where I need to have them. So I shuffle so I've got them exactly where they should be. I place them up against something, so I'm using the silicone mat here, the multimedia mat, and I can just then use that to place those together, and that gets it all straight. Taz, you're looking at me like I've done something wrong.
Someone's microphone.
Is it mine or is it Dave's?
No, it's fine now.
We're okay now. We're fine. They can hear you.
It was you.
Was it me?
I think, yeah.
It's always me.
It's like when you're doing your Darth Vader thing.
Hmm?
The breathing funny down
You
the
weren't
mic.
going to tell anyone about that.
Dude. So I'm using some of these perfect papers. So I've got this gorgeous, gorgeous lemon colour. Isn't that beautiful? I love that colour so much. It's like bottled sunshine.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it, actually.
Really is. And then place this down. Push. Pull. Mats and layers. Exactly where I want
You
them.
do that so well.
I know, right? That's practice. Literally. That's hours
That's your thing.
of doing it. So then I have got this one here, which is the, the complementary colour to go with this. Look at those together. Beautiful. It's like, it's like a Solera.
Or a custard cream.
It's like a Solera. So on this one, I've got the 3mm
What's a
foam.
Solera?
You know, one of those ice lollies where it's orange on the outside with ice cream on the inside.
Okay. I've never had one of them.
Oh, we could now.
We could. Can you imagine being in here with one of those? It would melt within 2 seconds.
Yeah, it would. So you've got the 3mm foam tape here. That means I'm going to get some depth. I'm not raising it too high. Otherwise, I could have used the 5mm, but 5mm might be a little bit extravagant. I'm just going to pull my tabs down here, and I'm going to place these together. So I'm calling down that yellow tone at the bottom. I'm just placing, as I have explained earlier and several times, I can't lean over, so mine might not be as straight as they could be.
You're looking
It's
good.
Just because I can't put my head over the top, otherwise you'll just see my noggin, which is entirely pointless for you guys. Right, let's start playing with some of the elements that we're getting here. Let's have a look at what we've got, and we're going to place these in. So I'll bring them all in. You can see what we're going to be making. Let's have a look at some of these. I love those bows so much.
Can I just show you something while you're sorting your bits out there? You know, we talk about the vignettes and how you can print them off either single-sided or double-sided. This is what you can do when you've got the double-sided vignettes, because you've not only got a back and a front to a rabbit, you've also got a left and a right. So that one rabbit that was pointing in one direction, now suddenly by turning it round using the double vignettes, you've got a lefty and a righty.
Isn't that sweet?
It's cool.
It's that aren't they so clever, Carnation? They just have this way of knowing. Right, so I've taken my second set of mats and layers. So I've got the white and the cream here. So can you see how I'm cooling tone down here? So instead of going back in with that very vibrant orange, I've taken it to white now. So I'm cooling those tones just to make sure that I'm not overpowering the end feel of the card. This is obviously going to, oh, not obviously, but I'm going to place this at a diagonal. So I wouldn't struggle with it that way, particularly with my tape. I'm always going to turn my base so that I can get it the right way and I can keep my tape straight. Does that make sense? I know what I mean in my head anyway. And I'm just going to try it central.
We've got those little kind of mounds to line it up against as well, haven't you?
That's what I'm using on the monitor to try and see if I'm straight. It won't be entirely straight because I can't. Place your fingers, push, pull, and that gets that into exactly the right position.
Doesn't this prove why you need the perfect papers though?
I know, right, and it's that blend, isn't it? It's that colour blend. The reason I don't go for the very bright orange here, and I could have done, it's a purposeful choice to go white because I need to cool it down. And the reason I need to cool it down is I want my vignettes to be the thing that stands out on top of the card, and it's got so much colour in it. I don't want to add more to it, but I do want that flash of it here. I'm going to be covering a lot of this anyway, so I'm not too worried, but it just simmers it, if that makes any kind of sense. And that's just personal preference. That's what I prefer. So I'm just going to go in here.
And that's from the oversized square frame.
Yep.
Yep.
So now I'm bringing in that deeper orange. So can you see what I mean about the impact of bringing that and cooling it, and then we just warm it in the center? I don't know if it makes sense. It makes sense to me. And I love that. It's so striking. There's something really visibly beautiful just right there. Now you've got options here. We could leave these plain and blank, and you can bring it all together, or you could just put, I mean, literally, I'm not going to get too much into composition here, but let's say we were taking one of these bows and we're placing it. I mean, literally, do that, pop a sentiment down here, you've got a really beautiful card.
Done.
And you haven't really had to do anything at all. Those quick cards that we need to make sometimes are always easy to access with Carnation, and that's what I love about it. But that's not what I'm going to do. I am going to use some everyday glue here, which is wet glue, if I can squish some out. And then I'm going to use one of my applicators from the Everyday Glue applicators, which are a little stroke of genius.
And all of these extras and accessories you'll find at carnationcrafts.co.uk, all there.
And then I'm going to place these, and I'm going to place them at all 4 points of my diamond.
Now, bearing in mind, if you are buying the big collection today, the main collection, which is new and exclusive to us at Carnation Crafts TV, you won't find it anywhere else for a little while. Take advantage of the free postage and add the glue into your order. Add the everyday glue applicators into your order at the same time and get the whole thing delivered without any postage.
Yeah, I think that's important, isn't it? Do you know what, actually? I think I might take that up and put them here so that when I get to the bottom, if I put it there, when I stand the card up, it's going to crush it. So let's put it here. This is where we start to really take advantage of the fact that we've got that filigree. We can manipulate, we can put layers on. In the last show, somebody said, and I think it's a really important point, somebody was saying that I use too little glue, that I don't use enough glue. And I said earlier, and I stand by it, glue's really sticky. I know it's a ridiculous thing to say, I know, but I quilled for years, and when you're quilling you have to learn the art of using the least amount of glue you possibly can, because it shows, and it shows on the picture that you're doing it on, so you learn to use the tiniest possible amount.
It's a bit of a myth that the more glue you use, the better the stick's going to be. It's actually the other way around. The least you use, the more effective the actual adhesive will be.
The other side to that as well is, as I say, glue is sticky, but one thing that we don't tend to focus on with glue when we're crafting is certainly the fact that glue is its stickiest point about 3 seconds after application. Or even longer, 3-5 seconds, and at that point it becomes really tacky as it's starting to dry. So it doesn't actually matter how little you use, often it's about catching it at that right moment. So if you use it,
with you having it on your silicone mat though, I'm surprised it doesn't dry up before you...
It does. I was trying to get my glue from here a minute ago. You can see it's formed a skin.
Right.
So it will, that's from this this afternoon show that we did earlier, so that's had like 3 hours, and it's still, I could still take that skin off and use the glue underneath if I really wanted to. But it would be a bit globby, so I try and use fresh glue. But can you see just the tiny amounts that we place? The thing is, it warps your paper, because it's a moisture that is, you know, going onto your paper, and any moisture that you put on paper is going to obviously warp it. That's what it does, and we don't want that warping to occur. So the smaller amounts of glue that you can use, the much better off you'll be with your finished product. It will look tidier. It won't have that gloss. The thing is, that's the other thing, is glue is shiny as a general rule. So if you've got a card that's sitting on a mantelpiece somewhere and the light catches it, you'll catch those glue dots. So try and tone the glue down if you possibly can. You will find it makes a difference. I'm going to go in with these beautiful bows, which might be my new favourite thing. Shall I do them square or shall I do them inwards? I'm going to do them inwards. I'll just place them this way. I've got foam tape on the back of them. Did you just put sweet in your mouth?
No.
You sure? You did not.
Nothing in there.
Dave just showed me the inside of his mouth. I'm not sure I deserve that. I'm just
Surprised you didn't fall in, to be honest. It's big enough.
With a little echo in the background.
Oh,
Help, help,
Carla,
help.
come back.
So we're just placing these in the corners. So everything is now focusing in onto this point. Aren't these beautiful?
Yeah, they are.
I love them so much.
And, you know, it's one thing to have the printing of like the burlap or the hessian, but it's actually got little tiny perforations, so it actually
it's got
feels
that
like
texture.
it.
It's got a beautiful texture of it. Look at that. Isn't that just really striking? There's something really, really pretty about that.
And indirectly, the bow's kind of pointed towards the centerpiece in the middle, isn't it?
So you're highlighting your showstopper. That's the whole point. So I'm just going to go in with these florals here. Tiny touch of glue on there, and I'm going to tuck it into this midpoint. So I'm just going to put it at a slight angle, push it about there, and just place it down. All I'm doing is stabilising it. That's it. That's all I want from that, is just for it to be stabilised. Try and put another one in. If I don't have room, I'm not going to worry too much. But we can place.
If you're watching us on Facebook, by the way, say hello to us. Tell us where you are, what part of the world. Make us jealous.
I know, well, they're all in Tenerife.
I know, Tenerife, Portugal. Where else was it? One of the other, Gran Canaria, I think. We had a message from Gran Canaria. And I know this time of the afternoon, very often we get a lot of American viewers watching. So hi to you if you're watching this. Yeah, send us a message on Facebook. And remember, if you've just joined the show and you're thinking, oh, I've missed the first 3 shows today, you can watch them back at any time on YouTube, can't you?
You can indeed. So we've got Brenda here, and what I've done is layered up 2. So I've got foam tape, so a 3mm here and a 3mm on the inside as well. Can you see that there?
Actually, Brenda kind of works. Brenda Wren.
I know, Brenda. And yes, I want to say something else in my head and I can't work out what it is. But I was trying to think of it earlier as well. Oh. Brenny Wren also, I don't know. Anyway, so we're just going to plump those 2 tail feathers. What that'll do is give the illusion of more feathers behind. What I could do is twist them and push, and I could essentially, if I wanted to, glue those together. That'll give her a fuller tail feather if you wanted to do that. I'm just going to leave it as it is for now. You could shape them out, but there's no real need. Once we've got that foam tape on, I can just push that down, and then I can take my foam tape off the back here, and we finish off this show the centre of this card with the showpiece, which is of course this beautiful bird. And we're just going to place her feet at the bottom of the filigree, so she's not floating for no reason. Place her down.
Ta-da!
And look at that.
What a fantastic card that is. Brilliant. Lisa Glover says, watching from Norfolk, which isn't warm at the moment. Oh, sorry about that. Betty Dredge says, hi, I'm in a rainy Falkirk in Scotland. I thought it was warm everywhere. Apologies. Hi, Carla and Dave. Another great collection. I'm not abroad. That's from Wendy Floodgate. Who else is here as well? We've got someone from Corfmullen. I saw that a few minutes ago. That's down my neck of the woods. Jenny West is in Corfmullen in Dorset. I used to live in Dorset. I live in Hampshire now. Moved last week, but very near. Absolutely stunning card, Carla. That's again from Umberta. So thank you for all your comments. Let me remind you of the collection. We did a show earlier today at 11 and at 2. And now this is the final one today at 5. There will be 2 more shows tomorrow with Dawn and Carla, so brace yourselves for those. 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock tomorrow UK time, okay? But this is your Wild Wonders Fantastic Collection, new and exclusive. Now we do this every month. We bring you at least one brand new collection that isn't out anywhere else apart from here at Carnation Crafts TV. And you can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and also, of course, on Carnation Crafts website, carnationcrafts.co.uk, which is where you can place your order for this right now. Now, the little trio of dies down the bottom, now, I've got to let you know that was limited stock at the end of the last show. So if we've got any of those remaining, just those sets of 3, be quick. They are on the website. We only have a few of those left now. But do remember to buy the big collection, make sure you put this code in the promo code box when you get to checkout. WWYD10. I'm getting carried away
That
with
was
W's.
Pavlov's dogs then. That was conditioning.
WWYD10. That's going to give you another 10% off that £119.99. So your bill will only be £107 and a few pence. And this kind of breaks it down for you and shows you how we got to that figure. So it should be £149.92. And if you were to buy any of those individuals, that's the price they are. Add it together, it comes to nearly £150. The discounted price is £119.99. But with your extra promo code WWHD, what was it? WWHD.
WWYD10.
YD10, that's it. Put that in the promo box and it goes down to £107.99. Okay, saving you a whopping £41.93. And remember, the lovely thing is, Carnation, I'm so proud to work for these guys because they get the order out straight away. It's being picked and packed the minute that you order it. The guys are working really, really hard back in the office. And you should get it in a matter of days, if not some possibly even tomorrow. But then remember, you can now print off all those vignettes, all the artwork for what you're going to be getting in the post right now, free of charge. You can sit there this evening and just flick through them and admire Nick's artwork, which is absolutely, as ever, exquisite. But then your dies will arrive very, very soon, and you can then start to really enjoy the Carnation experience, which it is. And also, of course, you may not buy every collection that comes out, but maybe you've got 2, 3 or 4 Carnation collections. You'll be amazed just how versatile this is when you combine it with your previous Carnation craft kits as well. Wild Wonders, exclusive to us at the moment on this channel, 220513. Whatever you do, don't miss out on this, and don't forget, there's the code, WWYD10. And if you want the extras, we've got, of course, the oversized square, which works beautifully well with this. That's just over there. If you want to get that particular die set as well, that's coming in at just over £30, I think it is. There it is, £34.99. And of course it'll be free P&P if you've already bought got that in your basket, got the main collection in your basket. You can add that without any more postage to pay because it's free P&P over £100. 220523. The only other thing to let you know about, when you saw just how beautiful all of those coloured cardstocks went with the perfect papers, it seems a sin if you're spending over £100 not to have the cardstock that just is the perfect marriage for all that artwork.
I love that green.
Yeah. I love
Isn't
all
that
of them.
pretty? The green and the pink together, because obviously they're opposite on the colour wheel. They're so pretty together.
And you said it's like a sweet
A
shop.
sweet shop, isn't it?
48 sheets of A4, 300 GSM, so it's cardstock, not paper, but we just call it perfect papers. Add that to your order, that's only $14.99, 220524. Hi here in Rhode Island from Alberta. It's cloudy and very, very windy. Oh, hi to Jackie Barton. I'll be going past you tomorrow. Hi from sunny Raunds in Northamptonshire. I'm a little chilly in Middlewich in Cheshire, Mary Elizabeth Watts says. So not everyone's abroad.
I'd give me eye taste to be a bit chilly right now, Dave.
I tell you what, we should get a thermometer in here, shouldn't we?
Dave's making me warm in his jacket. Just looking at him is making me warm in his jacket.
I should learn. I should come with a t-shirt or a polo top or something.
I should get one of those bottles and spritz you every now and again.
You should do.
When you're least expecting it.
To make me jump, just for the heck of it.
Just while you're talking, with little spritz.
All right, what should we do now? Another demo?
Yeah. Unless you care to tap dance.
No.
No?
You know what I'm like.
Not after
I
your
can't
little
walk
episode in the
without
kitchen.
tripping
I
over the
think it's
boxes.
probably best if you stand very still and hold on, Dave. It's fine. We're going to attach your pants to something so you can't fall over again. So we've made our temp base in the same way that we have made all the other temp bases. It's always the same format. But what I've done, just to speed things up a little bit, is to add these mats and layers together already, so they're already sealed, but it's just in the same way. So we're using that absolutely gorgeous pink there from the Perfect Papers, cooling that tone with the cream, using that. Now this time, instead of cutting this in white, I've cut it in the natural blush paper. I don't know if they have that in stock or not, but it is a Carnation paper. It's called Natural Blush, and there's 3 different colours. There's a natural, a blue and a pink. Now, I could have chosen the pink because obviously it would have brought the pink in from the back here. So these are where we start to make choices. I wanted to use the natural because I wanted to bring in the cream tones instead to just make the pink more dynamic at the back. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Is it in stock, Taz? Is that what
All
you're raising
three
your
are.
finger?
All three are. Fantastic.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, same thing. We're using those tabs. It's such a nifty little trick, this. I was taught this by Auntie Hannah, and I am forever grateful to the most wonderful of women, who is the crafting guru herself. So thank you, Auntie
Hi, Hannah, if you're watching. Hope all's going well.
Hannah. I hope you're not melting in this heat. I'm just going to place this here. Actually, it might not be that mafting outside, you know. I think it might just be a bit mafting in here.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like we're in Tenerife.
Well, to be honest, we could be in Asia in this sort of temperature.
I don't know if it's that. Bye, crackers. It's a bit warm. Right. We're going to have a look at the vignettes that we're going to use. I want to use those grounding devices. Let's look at that dirt because, like I said to you earlier, this is going to be the one that I probably end up using the most out of this whole collection. Randomly. It's just sometimes you get something that becomes your go-to, and grounding devices are super important. So it's, you know, probably going to be something I use a lot. So you can see the vignettes that I've chosen to use at this point. So let's place them out. Now, the great thing about this dirt is, first of all, you can shape every little piece of it. So if I just use my fingers here and I take this little clump, can you see how I can push that down?
Could it be rocks as well?
It could be rocks.
Yeah.
It could be, it just looks like a mud pile to me, which I love because it reminds me of when we used to do we used to go and climbing in the mud piles when we were kids, which I really loved doing. Yes, I think I was that kid. I think I was that kid. Now, if you've got two of these together, we can obviously put them this way so that they elongate across, or we can overlap and you get the little mound in the centre there, so you get the four together. So we can make a longer piece that's not too elongated, and it's up to you how you play it. You know, you can pull them down, push them up to create different height bases with them, and I love that about them. I just think these are ace.
Yeah, and it just adds even more character to the story, really.
It does. So I'm just going to place a little glue just in those two areas. I hope I've hit them correctly. If not, I can go back in. Can you see where I'm going here?
Yep.
And then place that there. Now I'm just going to straighten up the bottom edge. Look at that, isn't that pretty? See, I am somebody who thinks dirt piles are pretty.
I was going to say, not many people call a mound of mud pretty.
Ah, but you know, it's nature, isn't it? It's
We look at things in
always
different
fine.
ways.
It's clay. Which is one of my passions. So yes, I'm quite partial to a little dirt mound. So I just put in some tiny dots of glue on the backs here. And all I'm going to do first off is just place this down. I'm not going to push it too much because I might need to squish it up or down. So I'm not going to chance my luck too much. Now the obvious thing to do is place this smack bang in the centre. And that is something that we can absolutely do. But I'm just going to pull it down slightly because I want it to overlap kind of to the edges of the white at the background. So I'll place it around about there, just to give it that edge in. Look how pretty that is. It looks like a mountain.
It does actually.
From there.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take the gates and I put 3 of these together. I have glued already 3 of them together just to save a little time.
So basically you made a fence.
I made a fence, dude. Which is just a really
I love being
lovely
called
thing.
dude. You're the only person that calls me dude.
I think I'm probably the only person this side of 1970s that still uses that word. I'll be totally honest. I'm just going to place this under.
When I'm not here, I work near Birmingham, and everyone calls me Bud. You're right,
Bud.
Bud? Yeah.
You're right, Bud.
Yeah, I like that too.
It's always, where in Yorkshire, where I'm from specifically, it's always honey or love.
Oh, that's
Everybody calls everybody honey or love. Doesn't matter whether you're male or female. Everybody calls everybody honey or love, which is, I think that's quite sweet.
Yeah, I do.
And it's sort of endearing. I think it's possibly strange if you're not from there, but it's just everybody calls you know, it's just the common word that's used. I'm just going to place this little tree next to the I love those trees. You can use your ball tool obviously to shape these. I'm just using my fingers just to create a little bit of shadow, not too much. And I'm just going to place.
And you always do the vignettes double-sided, don't you?
I always use the mirrored. I mean, I've spoken to a lot of people who prefer to use, you know, single-sided vignettes, and it is personal choice, absolutely, you know. And I think
if you're not going to see the back, there's no point in printing off.
Absolutely.
Double-sided.
So I could turn around and say, here, this is the you know, this is sort of pointless me printing on the back of these, but for me it makes life easier, because when I come to crafting, I like to know that I can have opposites. I don't tend to plan my cards ahead, so I can just use and go it that way. Somebody's just asked how big the little fence is. So obviously it's just those pieces, and so just to let you know that that'll be about 3 centimeters, just so you can gauge that. And then we're going to go from here. And I've just put those leaves, so this is from the laminar card base.
I could see you wearing that as a headdress.
Dude! No.
Yeah, that would look good. Bit Carmen Miranda-ish. That would suit you.
How small do you think my head is?
No, not that size, but one like it.
I am not, you cannot make me. It'd be quite nice as a little hair bow, you know,
Yeah,
at the side of the hair. That would be quite nice. So I've used 2 of those, glued them together, and then I've popped some flowers on the front. I'm going to use some pin flare here, just so I can keep that domed shape that I used just by kind of, you know, sprucing that out. And I'm going to put this at the bottom, which might seem fairly random, but we're just going to place it here.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've got that placed, I'm going to put my middle tree in the centre, but I just wanted to make sure I had my placing correct before I did that.
Umberta's saying, I'm so in love with that square frame, can't wait to receive mine.
Right, Umberta, you're going to love it. You are going to have so much fun with it. I just love the fact that you can do so much with it.
Also, I love your dog, Umberta. What a fantastic dog on your post. You seen a dog? It's like a white
beautiful.
husky.
Yeah, it does look like a white husky.
Stunning.
Or a Malamute.
Could be.
I'm just going to place that in the middle. It could be a German Shepherd. You can get white German Shepherds.
Could be.
So I've now got those in a line. I've got this at the bottom, so I now know where I'm going. I know where my central point is, and I know where my central focus is, because I've now placed that tree. And that's all I need to know for that bit. What I'm going to do here is take the bunny. I've got 2, and I'm going to have them facing each other. So this is why I like the mirrored vignettes, because when I come to doing my cards, I can choose which way I'm going to go. Now, I did the proper shaping out of the bunny in the last show, so I'm not actually going to spend, I think I might have just popped his eye. I'm not, it's like a scene from Jaws, I tell you. Jaws. I'm not going to spend too long on the bunny, because you can go back to the previous and watch that.
Yeah, the 11 o'clock, the 2 o'clock show and this show will be on YouTube in order, so you can easily go back and watch all the other demonstrations that Carla's been doing today. And it's so nice to know this collection you can't get anywhere else at the moment for at least a few weeks. So grab it while we've got it with that extra 10% discount. WWYD10 in the promo box at checkout magically takes the price down to just over £107. That's the way to get Dimension.
What would you do, 10?
What would you do, 10? Yeah. Do you reckon that's what it stands for? I think it is. What do you reckon it stands for?
Wounded Warriors, Yeti Dreams.
Okay. It just gives you 10% off. That's all you want to know. That's all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, WW Wild Wonders.
It's got to be Wild Wonders.
YD.
What have they put YD for? I mean, you'd have to be getting into the deep minds of Carnation here.
Yes, dear.
That's actually
Taz is thinking
right.
too.
The D probably stands for discount.
Your discount.
Your discount.
Your discount. Yeah.
Wild Wonder. No, it
Wild
won't be
Wonder's
your.
your discount.
It won't be your. Well, let me think. Let me get inside Mark and Nick's weird little brains. Wild Wonder.
Yes, discount.
Yeah, discount.
Yeah. Yo. Yo, discount. We should have found that out, shouldn't we?
It's more
It probably
fun
doesn't
doing
stand
it
for
this way.
anything, really. It just means you get, if you put that in, you get 10% off. That'll do me.
They have these weird little things that they do, Mark and Nick, between them, and it makes sense to them, and we just nod sometimes.
Oh, look at that.
Now, I just need to finish the corners because I can't have it that naked on the top when it's that clustered at the bottom. There has to be something to take the eye above. So all we're going to do here is shape out that bow. I'm not using the ball tools for that. I'm just manipulating the paper with my hand. That's all I need to do. I'm going to take the bow. I'm just putting the gel glue on the back of that button. and I'm placing at an angle so we're facing in. I'm always looking at my center point at the showstopper. Obviously those bunnies are my showstoppers in these, and we're just drawing the eye to that.
Oh, we've just found out from Umberta, Maxi, great name for a dog, is a Samoyed. He was born in Ukraine.
Oh,
Wow. Mary Elizabeth Watts is saying, I love this card. There you go, Carla.
thank you so much. So there you go. Now I leave that center white space. Sometimes white space is one of the most important things we can do on a card. Not always, but sometimes if we want the card to breathe, that's how we allow it. So it was too much without the bows, but sometimes add in and then you've got it. Oh, Shadia has said WWYD, well worth your discounts.
That'll do. We'll take that.
We'll take that.
Yep. Jenny West says, beautiful. Thank you ever so much for watching today. Let me just remind you, just in case you're getting in, switching on, putting your iPad on or iPhone or whatever you may have got, this is the latest collection from Carnation Crafts. It's called Wild Wonders, and it just features the most fantastically designed dies. All the artwork you can print off now. All the vignettes are absolutely free. That's what we call the artwork, vignettes. If you go to carnationcrafts.co.uk to the vignettes or download section, that's where you'll find the artwork, and just search for Wild Wonders collection. Click on that, and then all of the backing papers and the inserts and all the artwork for these dies will be there for you to print off without any charge whatsoever. There are some other designs there that have a charge on them, and if you choose to buy them, it's entirely up to you, but all the ones for this one are completely free. If I just show you a few more finished cards as well. This one is by Lavinia. I think the design team have had an absolute blast and a ball working with these, and there you can see a whole collection, like a mini farm down the bottom there. But again, what would you make that into? Is that could it be a washing line? Could it be a hammock? Could it be a trampoline? Could it be all sorts of things?
Tightrope.
Tightrope. Yep.
I love the layered apertures that you get from that square, you know, shape. I know that's not the actual oversized frame, but when we're using, what's the bit with the near and far?
Near and far, yeah.
So the dirt, when you're doing that with layered apertures, see how effective it is when you have that little backdrop in your square, so that it has that wonderful effect of it being in the distance. Using your layered apertures is a really good way to get that.
And that's the laminar being used to really great effect from Sue. Again, that's what's going to allow you to create a lovely circular wreath, a semicircular wreath, square, rectangular, large or small. Choice.
Can I just interrupt you to say, Shadia has just said that she's got notification that hers has already been shipped.
Woo! That's how quick Carnation are. We'll get it to you as quickly as we can. Remember, that is the all-important discount code that you don't normally see on our live shows. So it's WWYD10. That will get you £10% discount off your order, taking it down to just £107 and a few pence. And remember, if you're in the USA and watching this, you can order as well. If you buy the collection, your P&P or shipping and handling will be £4.95. If you want to go for perfect papers on top, then there'll be an extra £10 shipping charge, £14.95 in total, plus of course the cost of your kit. I've had a ball as ever.
It has been, so, do you know, it's always so lovely when you're here, Dave. I do thoroughly enjoy your company.
And thank you for feeding me.
Always.
I'm sorry if I've tripped over your box and damaged anything. Thank you to Taz as well.
Yes. Damaged your bottom.
I'll be back, I'm sure, next month. It's going to be Dawn and Carla tomorrow at 4 and 6 with more on this, of course. Enjoy your afternoon or evening, and I'll see you soon. Carla will see you tomorrow.